CBS News Special Report. I'm Major Garrett in Washington. We are, as you certainly know by now, following breaking news. The United States and Israel have launched multiple airstrikes against Iran. This is video from the capital of Tehran. Two U.S. officials tell CBS News Iran's defense minister and the commander of the Revolutionary Guard Corps are believed to have been killed. President Trump has been off and on threatening the Iranian government to make a deal to rein in its nuclear program. The president posted a video on social media earlier today addressing and announcing to the world these attacks.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people.
The president also called on Iran civilians to rise up and, quote, take over your government, unquote. And in an interview with the Washington Post today, the president said his objective is securing freedom and safety for Iran's people. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu gave an address earlier. Translated from Hebrew, he said this operation will continue, quote, as long as necessary. President Trump and the Israeli Prime Minister also held a phone call today. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed their conversation, but did not provide extra details. Israel's military says Iran fired multiple rounds of missiles toward that country. And Iran also targeted at least two significant U.S. military bases in the region. This video comes to us from Erbil Airport military base in Iraq. U.S. forces launched missile interceptors earlier today. Last week on Face the Nation, Iran's foreign minister spoke to our Margaret Brennan about how Iran would respond in the event of an attack.
If the U.S. attacks us, then we have every right to defend ourselves. If the U.S. attacks us, that is the act of aggression. What we do in response is the act of self-defense. And it is justifiable and legitimate. So our missiles cannot hit the American soil. So obviously, we have to do something else. We have to hit the Americans' base in the region.
In the lead up to these coordinated U.S.-Israeli strikes, the United States moved dozens of naval vessels and aircraft toward the Middle East, a clear sign this military operation was a serious possibility and, if launched, could be sustained for quite a period of time. We are following reaction from around the world to this military maneuver. Canada's Prime Minister said he supports U.S. acting to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. And the British government told CBS News, quote, Iran must never be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon. That's a quote. France's president took a somewhat different tone in a post on X. Translated from French, Emmanuel Macron said, in part, quote, the outbreak of war between the United States, Israel, and Iran carries grave consequences for international peace and security. He went on to write, quote, the ongoing escalation is dangerous for all. It must stop. Macron also called on Iran to engage in good faith negotiations. On Capitol Hill, the debate about the president's war power has been ongoing. House Democrats announced Thursday a plan to force a floor vote on an Iran war powers resolution this coming week. And we've learned Secretary of State Marco Rubio briefed 7 of the 8 so-called members of the Gang of 8, top congressional leaders with expertise in intelligence matters, ahead of these strikes. House Speaker Mike Johnson defended the Trump administration action. This morning, he posted on social media in part, quote, Iran is facing the severe consequences of its evil actions. President Trump and the administration have made every effort to pursue peaceful and diplomatic solutions in response to the Iranian regime's sustained nuclear ambitions and development, unquote. We are also hearing from Congressman Jim Himes. He's a Democrat from Connecticut, also part of the Gang of 8 and ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee. He criticized the president's move, saying in part, quote, everything I have heard from the administration before and after these strikes on Iran confirms this is a war of choice with no strategic endgame. As I expressed to Secretary Rubio when he briefed the Gang of 8, military action in this region almost never ends well for the United States, and conflict with Iran can easily spiral and escalate in ways we cannot anticipate, end quote.